So the NBA Dream Team is dominating all competition by 40, 50, even 60 points. And it's becoming a question, all right? Is the Dream Team too good? And it's crazy to see how they can find a negative in the positive. Let's get into it.
Irvin, there's been some comments that the Dream Team is getting all the attention and there seems to be some resentment about it. Have you heard about it and do you have any feelings about it?
Basically, we haven't heard about it. We're just here to do our job.
The media may have been looking for signs of a backlash, but in Barcelona and in the world beyond, the embrace of the Dream Team was universal.
You're
going to stand out and root against Picasso? I mean, seriously. They rooted for genius at work.
I kept thinking that the attention would dissipate. They're going to play the first game. They're going to win by 60. People are going to go back and watch track.
Jordan in transition. To give Team USA a 60-point lead.
It didn't. It kept building and building and building.
The U.S. with another trouncing 127-83, 127 points.
Workers were trying to get autographs. The security people were trying to get autographs. All the athletes were standing alongside like a parade.
What a ball fake by Scottie Pippen. It is a 58-point lead.
Now the question is,
people perceived us as being superheroes.
did any team give them problems? Any team.
The guy on the bench is taking pictures, and I said, wow, we are having an effect over here.
Wrap around pass to Wrexham. Another easy victory in this, their 5th game of the Olympics.
It was as if the President of the United States was in the midst of a caravan that was going through the streets.
It was like the Beatles, where there's thousands and thousands of people waiting all the time.
That was the most exhilarating 15 seconds of my life.
We're like, wow, this is amazing.
No one member of the Dream Team reveled in the Olympic experience more than Charles Barkley.
It's interesting.
After throwing the controversial elbow against Angola, Barkley had emerged as the team's most visible player.
Everybody always had the same question. How much of an ass is Charles Barkley?
Hey, Jack, when am I going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated for this stuff? I should be on the Dream Team cover.
And then every time you'd go spend time with him, you'd just realize that he was the most enjoyable act, not only in all of sports, but possibly in all of pop culture.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Mike.
Right away, I told my editors, I said, well, the number one angle here is what is Charles doing?
And if you wanted the answer to that question, all you had to do was follow the crowds.
They're like, we don't want you guys out and about because we don't know how safe it is. And I'm like, dude, I'm at the Olympics. I'm not going to stay in my room the whole time.
So Barkley strolled Los Ramblas, a man of the people if ever there was one.
That's true, though.
Man, I walked up and down the Ramblas every night, and the people were fantastic. They all wanted autographs and wanted to take pictures.
We could be inside the hotel. Soon we heard the big roar. We said, there go Charles.
He's out.
So Charles would be walking, and then thousands would be following him everywhere he went.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie.
Pied Piper.
That ain't safe, though. I ain't gonna lie. That ain't
Charles
safe
would go over to the village and find the Angolan players and hang out along the Ramblas at night. He was the most memorable person of the 1992 Olympics.
I just saw this touch he had. I don't think anybody else in the world could have done it beside Charles Barkley. At the end of the day, he was America's best ambassador.
Barkley was celebrated for experiencing the Olympics on his own terms. More quietly, one of his teammates found a way to do the same.
We had the motorcycle escorts, and we bussed through traffic like Dick Tracy. But this one day, we got stuck in traffic, and we're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Finally, I said, that's it. Let's go. Anybody wants to go with me, I'm heading.
He'd get off the bus, and his family met him. He started walking right through the middle of everybody, and nobody noticed him. I'm still on the bus, seeing him walk down the street, and I'm saying to myself, I would give anything to do what he just did.
See, guys, this is called the Rhombus. See all the footprints? All right.
So Las Ramblas, it's like Times Square or something. There's just so many people walking. I'm 6'1". I'm about the average size of everybody else on that little walk. So I'm walking with my family and I have the camera and nobody's noticing.
You think it's the sunglasses that's fooling them? Must be. Hi, you from America?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Whereabouts?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. You been watching the Dream Team at all?
Yeah,
He has no idea, dog.
Yeah.
He's like,
no attention whatsoever. Finally, we ran across this lady who had the Dream Team and all the pictures on her T-shirt.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you an American?
But of course.
You look wonderful.
Why, thank you.
She started speaking real excitedly about each of the players. And I said, have you had a chance to meet anyone?
Of course. We met Charles Barkley the other night.
Did you? He's a hell of a player. See, you got all the players right there on your shirt. Is Charles the only one you've ever seen?
The only one I've ever met.
Hey, guys, do you know any of those guys on there?
I think my oldest son, Houston, ruined the surprise.
That's my dad. Your dad?
That's your dad? Too bad he's not here.
She said on even know.
I do, yeah.
Who is that guy?
I can't go anywhere without being bugged.
He fits right
Really
in,
not
though,
much
you know?
different from Michael Jordan walking through here.
You gonna see Michael Jordan.
For the players, surreal
Bald
experiences
head.
had become the norm. But even more memorable were the unlikely friendships developing behind the curtain.
It was a unique mix. You know, Larry Bird and Patrick Ewing became like best friends. I got a white guy from Indiana, and I got a brother from Jamaica.
Patrick said I could pick his mind. It took me 3 minutes. Now he gets a chance to come back and start picking on mine.
Took me one.
We were probably the two of the most unlikely people you thought that would be friends. But if you look, not only Larry and I got to be great friends, but all of those guys got to be much better friends.
We all enjoyed each other. We all enjoyed the ride. And we got a sense of each other as men. Then, when we got to the court, it made it even better.
The Dream Team's chemistry turned out to be the hallmark of their success, as the players closed in on what they came for.
So they just swept everybody? No
Their big
comp?
margins of victory may have been a testament to their dominance, but numbers couldn't capture what made watching them so unforgettable.
That's great.
Guys played the best basketball you've ever seen in your life. It was literally like great poetry or great art.
At times, you feel you're watching a performance, a concert, rather than a basketball competition.
This was fun. This was like, it's how basketball's supposed to be.
And at the center of the fun was the team's biggest star,
Here you go.
who had come to Barcelona at the peak of his powers and shown how much his popularity had exploded.
I will say this one thing about Michael Jordan. I've been around other celebrities in my life. I've never seen people react like they do to him. People go crazy when they see him.
Dang.
In every corner of the world, there was someone who just wanted to see him.
Please, Michael Jordan!
No one had the sort of pull, the gravity that Michael Jordan had.
Jordan had initially come to Barcelona reluctantly, but an early morning trip just before the gold medal game revealed how meaningful his Olympic experience had become.
Can you imagine looking up at a poster in a different country? You just 100-foot poster, you just sitting there.
Something like that.
That's wild.
And I'm drinking coffee, so it's gotta be 100. Can we go now? Where you from?
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Big fan of yours. Everyone's a big fan of yours.
Your name?
George Hirsch.
George, how you doing?
I'm doing
Michael
great.
George, nice to meet you. Last night I hit my wall, man.
Did you?
I couldn't make a basket.
What are you doing up so early?
I do remember getting up early to walk into the stadium.
That is the thing that I remember the most about the Olympics. Olympic Stadium. Imagine all the athletes that's been here before us.
Right. The history.
It's amazing. What about Edwin Moses?
won 122 consecutive races. I think everybody's got something to cherish. I think this is something that my kids are gonna love one day.
The Dream Team squared off against Croatia again in the gold medal game, offering the world one more lasting impression of their supremacy.
Barkley with the lead for Mullen. Behind the back,
You can't do nothing about it, bro.
Came to send a
You can't do nothing about it.
We wanted to win and we wanted to dominate, but how we did it, sharing the ball, including everybody. We did it as a true team.
The U.S. has defeated Croatia 117 to 85.
Let me get that.
And they have won the gold here in
117 and 85. Easy gold. Easy gold.
Campeón olímpico y medalla de oro, el equipo de los Estados Unidos de América.
There was never really any doubt the Dream Team would win gold in 1992. But as they walked back onto the court to get their medals, the moment still overwhelmed them.
You saw a lot of tears from players. It was a very proud moment for me because anytime you represent your country, that's a prideful thing.
Man, sent chills down my spine. It was a reward that I had never felt like that I would ever achieve. To do it on that stage with those group of guys, it's a memory I'll never forget.
Nothing in my life has ever felt like standing on that podium. I was getting goosebumps.
Every single time I heard the national anthem after that had a different significance to me. I knew what it really meant,
As a young kid growing up, I used to watch Olympics on TV with my father, and all he talked about was the Star Spangled Banner and the gold medal. It made him feel proud to be American. Being up on that podium that night and receiving it, my father, he'd been pretty proud.
All those emotions just overcame me. I got to be one of the guys one more time for my country.
Thanks.
I said, man, I'll never forget this moment. If this is the end, this is how I wanted to go out.
This group may well be the greatest team ever assembled in the history of team sports.
But when the medal ceremony was over, another realization began to settle in.
Yeah, we had to go
When
back
I
to our
walked
teams.
off, I remember thinking that whole dream has come to an end.
Real quick, Michael Jordan don't play around.
The next season, every Olympian except Magic Johnson and Larry Bird would return to the NBA. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen would win their third title against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. On the way to 6 championships overall, the last 3 with Tony Kukoc. Eventually, other members of the team would also win titles. But each NBA player on the Dream Team would reach the Hall of Fame.
Right. Facts.
Still, it's what they did together that summer that had the biggest impact on the game. An impact that continues to grow today.
It really lifted basketball, and it gave birth to international stars who had nothing to do with those games in '92, but who took so much from it.
We made the game a worldwide game. I talked to Tony Parker, I talked to Ginobili, I talked to Dirk Nowitzki. Those guys say their first love of basketball started with the Dream Team. And I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
The world can change a lot in 20 years. But there are moments in time you never forget. No matter how long it's been. No matter how much else has changed in your life since. 20 years later, They've all kept ties to the game in one way or another. And they all talk about the summer of '92 as if it happened just yesterday. An experience still unlike any other in their remarkable basketball lives.
I've never had more fun being around anybody. Everybody got along. There was no ego. We had fun. You know, clearly everybody reminds me I never won a championship. So that to me was like winning the championship, winning the gold medal, and hanging out with these guys.
The reward itself is really only a small part of the story. It's what the gold medal represents that will always tie these men together.
This is like, this fraternity, that's pretty awesome.
I don't think you're ever going to be able to get 11 Hall of Famers to play all at once, you know, on one team. That's unheard of.
Ha! We go on the bus. Ha! We come back. Ha! Walk out the hotel. Ha! Wave. Ha! Wave outside your window. Ha! I can't believe it. I lost it so magical. I just saw my God.
It changed sport as we know it. They showed the world how to play basketball.
Fishing, that boy's fishing out there.
What other team can say that? I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. It's an insult to compare anybody else to that team.
Take a good look. Perhaps we'll never see a team this great again.
Jordan, you crazy, bro. Oh no, we'll see.
No team.
We'll see, y'all.
Hasn't had that happen. And that's the dream, Jay.
We'll see, you guys. And I say that because we all know that, all right? Your boy LeBron trying to form another dream team for the next upcoming Olympics. So very excited about that. This documentary, again, was a very fire, informative. Just look back on history, man, seeing the personalities of Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, and seeing how everybody just interacted with each other and had fun. Well, it started off rough, right? Started off rough, but then kind of grew into like a brotherhood, and that even made their bond on the court that much better. So, fire documentary, guys. Comment down below what you guys think. What should we check out next? And until next time, you gotta be safe out there. Peace.